Hello. Today we're going to talk about how to simulate DHCP subscriber authentication request from a Juniper router. Sometimes you may have subscribers that are simulated using different tester tools like Ixia, RTBricks, or even a proper subscriber modem that you can use to simulate your PPPoE or DHCP subscriber authentication request. Now, if you want to simulate quickly such a request from the router itself without having to use these tester devices. This is mainly you may need a scenario where you've created a user on your Radius server and you want to just quickly validate that your request from your NAS, in this case the router, is going and contacting the Radius correctly, and if the response is a grant or a deny. So how can we do that? Now there is a simple command that you could use on the router to simulate that, to check if my subscriber is going to get authenticated from the Radius and if it's going to get an IP address. Now on the screen I have a router which is a Juniper router which I'm going to use to simulate the subscriber request. So the command is pretty much listed here. It's test AAA functionality. You just simulate the DHCP as the category for a subscriber, and you define your username for the subscriber and the password. Now we can look at various other options that are listed inside test AAA, but I will quickly demonstrate this particular scenario where I am simulating a DHCP based subscriber with has a username of ending in B and a password. Now on the other screen I also have the Radius server which is on a Red Hat Linux, and I am starting a TCP dump to check if my simulation that is triggered from the Juniper router is reaching the Radius and what happens to my simulation. So once I enter this test command, you can see that this user with this password is being queried on the Radius server. As you can see, there is an access request coming in, and the Radius server has validated this user and it has given back an access accept, which is why you see the authentication says it is a grant. And then you can also see that this client, if any client with this particular username and password is going and getting authenticated from the Radius, eventually it's being allocated an IP address, and a few other details are also listed here. Now what also happens with this test command is after it performs this spoof authentication process, it waits for 10 seconds before it disconnects the user. So you can pretty much use this tool to quickly validate subscriber configurations, your Radius server configuration that you have in your NAS. For example, you may have defined under access your Radius configuration and you've created those users on your Radius server. So if you want to quickly validate that process, you can use this command, the test AAA command. As I was referring earlier, so under test AAA, you have a lot of other options possible. So you can see, you can say test AAA, you can do it for PPP as well if you are performing a PPPoE subscriber. And for PPPoE also, you can perform user, you can give your username. I'll just demonstrate it. I don't have a PPPoE to run this command, but you can use the same logic and you can see the password. So again TTT for example, and you should be able to identify and evaluate whether your PPPoE subscriber is also getting authenticated. Hope you find this useful. Bye for now.